In a divorce, mom pretty much got nothing. I'm not going to leave my mom by herself. So I'm going to make sure my mother's taken care of. None of my siblings have helped me take care of my mother to make sure she was okay, except for Tamar. No one said,
This is before Vincent.
Before Vincent. Mommy's car insurance is due. Let's help Toni with mommy car insurance.
Or mommy needs a car.
Normally, I would never have a conversation with Trina or any of my sisters about helping out financially with my mom. But because I'm so stressed in that category, I needed to let her know what I felt. Hurts my feelings every day. My feelings hurt every day because I'm in a financial situation myself.
It started with a locked door, a cut microphone, and a single sentence that detonated behind the scenes like a bomb. Toni said she's done. Towanda is OUT. No warning. No family meeting. No cameras rolling. Just chaos spreading through the studio faster than anyone could contain it. By the time sunrise hit, the Braxton name was trending for all the wrong reasons, and one shocking number had everyone frozen in disbelief. $50,000. Insiders say Tamar was the first to notice something was wrong when her business account suddenly froze mid-payment. Stylists unpaid. Production stalled. Calls unanswered. At first she assumed it was a glitch. Then she checked the transaction log. The money wasn't missing. It was moved slowly, quietly, in pieces, small enough to hide. And when she saw the destination name, her knees reportedly gave out. Because the account wasn't a stranger. It was Towanda. Minutes later, Toni found out, and everything changed. Sources claim her face went blank, her voice dropped. And she delivered one chilling ultimatum to producers. If she's filming, I'm not. No yelling. No debate. Just a line drawn in blood. Towanda was allegedly confronted with receipts she couldn't explain. While Tamar broke down so hard, production had to shut down filming entirely. Then came the whispers. A shared family trust. Rerouted funds. Secret approvals. And a voicemail that allegedly ends with the most dangerous words of all. We're family. By nightfall, Towanda was escorted off set. By midnight, fans were digging up old clips. And by morning, social media was in full meltdown mode. This wasn't sibling drama. This was betrayal, money, and a legacy cracking in real time. And the receipts. They were just getting started. The fallout didn't wait for cameras to roll. It exploded in the shadows, in hallways with no microphones and trailers with doors slammed so hard the walls shook. According to multiple so-called insiders, the moment Tamar realized the money was gone, she didn't scream. She froze. Her phone slipped out of her hand as she stared at the transaction history. Like it might rearrange itself if she blinked hard enough. 5 withdrawals, all under the alert limit. All routed through a shell account tied to the family brand. And all authorized under a name she never expected to see attached to her finances. Towanda. At first. Tamar tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was pre-production expenses. Maybe it was something Toni approved. Maybe she just didn't understand the paperwork. But when she called VH1's finance department, the silence on the other end of the line said everything. The rep allegedly asked, "Did you approve these transfers?" Tamar whispered, "No." And that's when the rep responded with a sentence that would change everything. "Then we have a problem." Word traveled fast. Faster than Tamar could process what was happening, Toni Braxton was looped in. Insiders claim Toni demanded every ledger, every email, every signature connected to the reboot. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't accuse anyone publicly. She read, and the more she read, the colder she became. What she saw wasn't one mistake. It was a pattern. Money moved strategically. Dates aligned with Towanda's personal business expenses. Timing that didn't feel accidental. It felt intentional. Toni reportedly walked straight into production and shut everything down. "No cameras," she said. "No scenes. No pretending." When producers tried to calm her down, she cut them off with one line that stunned the room. "This isn't drama. This is theft." That's when Tamar allegedly broke. She collapsed into a chair, shaking, repeating the same words over and over. "She wouldn't do that to me. She wouldn't." But the paperwork didn't lie. Towanda was summoned next. Not to a family circle. Not to pray. To explain. Sources say she walked in smiling, unaware of the storm waiting for her. That smile disappeared when Toni placed the documents on the table. No theatrics. Just numbers, dates, signatures. Tamar couldn't even look up. When she finally did, her voice cracked. "Did you touch my money?" Towanda reportedly went silent. No denial, no explanation. Just a pause so long it became an answer. Evelyn was called immediately. Her reaction, according to leaks, wasn't outrage. It was damage control. "Let's not blow this up," she allegedly said. "Families handle things in-house." That sentence lit a fuse Tamar had been sitting on for years. She stood up, tears streaming, and snapped. "You want me to protect the show while I'm being robbed?" The room went dead quiet. By the end of the night, producers had made a move no one expected. Towanda was escorted off set. Not asked to leave, escorted. Her badge deactivated. Her trailer access cut. As she walked out, insiders claimed she kept saying, "This is a misunderstanding," but no one followed her. No one defended her. And when Toni turned to producers and said, "She's not filming with me again," they knew this wasn't negotiable. Outside the studio gates, rumors were already spreading. Crew members texting friends. Assistants leaking fragments to blogs. And somewhere in all that chaos, Tamar sat alone in her car, staring at her phone, realizing the betrayal didn't just cost her money, it cost her trust, her safety. And whatever illusion of sisterhood she had left, she didn't know it yet. But the internet was about to find out everything. And when it did, there would be no way to take it back by the time dawn broke. The story had already slipped out of the building. Not through a press release. Not through a network statement. Through panic. A crew member's late-night text. A producer venting to the wrong friend. A screenshot that was never meant to leave a private phone. By 9 a.m., blogs were circling with half-truths and coded language. Something big happened on the Braxton set. Filming abruptly halted. One sister escorted out. And then, like blood in the water, the number leaked. $50,000. Fans went feral. Old interviews were replayed like evidence. Every awkward moment between Tamar and Towanda suddenly felt sinister. A clip from years ago where Tamar joked, "Don't manage my money," resurfaced and went viral within minutes. Another where Towanda laughed about moving things around during a business convo was slowed down, zoomed in, dissected. The internet decided this wasn't random. This was foreshadowing. Inside the family, things were unraveling even faster. Tamar reportedly stopped answering calls. She didn't want comfort. She wanted clarity. And clarity came in the form of an internal email that somehow made its way into the wrong inbox. A memo from finance outlining unauthorized access to shared funds and flagging potential breach of contract. The timestamp showed it had been sent days earlier. Tamar stared at the date and realized something terrifying. This didn't just happen. People knew, and nobody told her. When Toni saw the email, sources say she lost what little patience she had left. She allegedly confronted Evelyn privately, asking why the warning hadn't been shared. Evelyn's response, according to leaked notes, was chillingly calm. "I didn't want to stress Tamar out before filming." That was the moment Toni reportedly stood up and said, "You don't protect someone by lying to them." The line cut deeper than any accusation. Towanda, meanwhile, was spiraling. After being removed from set, she allegedly made frantic calls to producers. Lawyers, even distant cousins, trying to frame the situation as a misunderstanding. It was temporary, she reportedly insisted. "I was going to put it back." That explanation only made things worse, because it confirmed intent. The idea that she believed she could take it, use it, and quietly return it without consequence sent fans into a rage. Then Tamar broke her silence. Late that night, without warning, she went live. No glam, no background music. Just her, sitting in the dark, eyes glassy but sharp. She didn't start with a speech. She started with receipts. She held her phone up to the camera, scrolling slowly, deliberately, letting people read what she had read. Transfers, dates, account names blurred, but recognizable. I didn't want to do this, she said quietly, but I'm not going to be painted as crazy while the math is screaming. The comments exploded so fast the live nearly crashed. People begged her to stop. Others begged her to keep going. Tamar's hands shook as she scrolled. This wasn't one mistake, she continued. This was five choices. And then she dropped the bomb that shifted everything. A voicemail. Towanda's voice, casual, familiar. Don't freak out when you see the account stuff. We're family. Tamar stared into the camera after it played and said, "Family doesn't steal." That clip spread like wildfire. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. Remixed, subtitled, memed, the phrase where family became a punchline. A drag, a symbol of betrayal, dressed as loyalty. Even celebrities started chiming in with cryptic posts about boundaries and money. One singer tweeted, "Blood doesn't mean access," and fans knew exactly who it was about. Access. And fans knew exactly who it was about. Toni finally spoke the next morning through a brief statement that was surgical and cold. No names, no drama. Just one sentence that set the tone. Integrity matters more to me than appearances. Fans crowned her instantly. The sister who had stayed quiet for years had finally chosen a side. And it wasn't the one that kept the peace. Evelyn attempted to regain control with a video of her own. Soft lighting, scripture quotes, words like storm and forgiveness. But she never denied the transfers. She never said Towanda didn't take the money. And that omission was deafening. Comment sections turned brutal. Money doesn't storm out of accounts. Stop protecting the wrong child. The narrative slipped out of her hands in real time. Towanda's silence became its own statement. Comments were turned off. Photos deleted. Promo wiped clean. Fans noticed she unfollowed Toni. Screenshots flew. Guilty behavior, they said. When she finally posted a black screen with praying hands and "God knows my heart," it backfired instantly. The internet doesn't accept vague spirituality as a defense when receipts exist. Behind the scenes. The network was in crisis mode. Sponsors were calling. Advertisers were nervous. Lawyers were reviewing footage frame by frame. A source leaked that executives were debating whether the show could even survive this level of exposure. "This isn't messy," one insider allegedly said. "This is radioactive." Then came the legal threat. A cease and desist allegedly sent to Tamar, demanding she stop sharing misleading financial information. Tamar read it on live and laughed, not out of humor, but disbelief. "You take my money, then try to take my voice," she said. "That's not how this works." Fans rallied harder than ever. Hashtags trended worldwide. Justice for Tamar, Braxton receipts, 50K truth. What hurt most, according to those close to Tamar, wasn't the money anymore. It was the realization that silence had been expected of her, that she was supposed to absorb the loss quietly for the sake of image, legacy, and a show. "They thought I'd swallow it," she allegedly told a friend. "I'm done swallowing." And just when it felt like nothing else could surface, a new leak began circulating. An internal message suggesting this wasn't the first time funds had been shifted without direct approval. No proof yet. Just enough smoke to suggest a deeper fire. Fans leaned in harder. Because if this wasn't the first time, then this wasn't a mistake. It was a system. As the internet held its breath, one thing became clear. This was no longer about a show. It was about power, access, and who was allowed to cross which lines without consequence. And Tamar, exhausted but unbroken, was no longer playing the role assigned to her. She was about to flip the entire narrative again by the time the third day rolled around. The chaos had reached a fever pitch. Towanda's silence was deafening, and the internet was treating it like a confession. Every muted post, every deleted story, every unfollow was dissected, replayed, and analyzed. Fans created timelines, collages, and compilations of past events. trying to connect dots that had always been there but now screamed betrayal. The Braxton family, long revered for its unity and fierce loyalty, was unraveling in real time, and the world was watching every collapse. Tamar, however, had stepped fully into her power. After her Instagram Live with receipts and voicemails, she reportedly consulted with a small circle of trusted advisors to plan her next move. No one was to leak anything else, but insiders say Tamar was gathering everything: messages, bank records, old contracts, screenshots of suspicious social media activity. Her goal: complete transparency. She wanted the public to see the calculated pattern of Towanda's actions. It's not just the $50,000 loss, but the intent behind it. The network couldn't ignore the frenzy any longer. VH1 executives were reportedly holding emergency meetings, reviewing every episode, every clip, every promo that featured Towanda. There was even talk of re-editing entire episodes to remove her entirely. And some insiders hinted that she might be permanently barred from any future Braxton productions. Sponsors were nervous, advertisers were threatening to pull out, and the network's social media team was scrambling to manage the backlash. Meanwhile, Evelyn's attempts at damage control had completely backfired. Her carefully crafted videos, quotes, and defenses were met with scorn. Fans criticized her for enabling Towanda, for silencing Tamar, and for prioritizing family image over truth. Even Trina reportedly stepped back from mediation, frustrated with the refusal to acknowledge the full extent of the betrayal. The family's internal tension had become public spectacle, a cautionary tale of misplaced loyalty and fractured trust. Tamar's next move sent shockwaves. She went live again, this time revealing a series of voice memos, emails, and messages she claimed proved Towanda had planned the transfers long before anyone discovered them. Fans watched in real time as she outlined a meticulous, deliberate series of financial maneuvers, small amounts siphoned off over weeks, masked by legitimate transactions, all pointing back to her sister. "You don't just steal from your family and expect forgiveness," Tamar said, her voice steady but icy. "You take peace, trust, and time, and you leave chaos." Social media erupted. Hashtags like #justice for TAMAR, #Braxton receipts, and #NoTOWAND flooded Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Viral clips of Tamar holding up her proof circulated endlessly. Memes dissected Towanda's every move, and fan pages dedicated to tracking the scandal mushroomed overnight. Influencers and celebrities joined the conversation, weighing in with opinions on loyalty, accountability, and family betrayal. Towanda attempted to respond. Her first video was brief and cryptic: a black screen, praying hands, and the phrase, "God sees my heart." The attempt to appear innocent only fueled criticism. Fans interpreted it as evasive, lacking accountability, and tone-deaf to the real damage done. The backlash was swift and merciless. Meanwhile, legal threats loomed. Towanda's attorneys reportedly sent a cease and desist demanding Tamar stop posting misleading financial information. But Tamar ignored it, asserting that truth could not be silenced. The fallout rippled beyond social media. Reports emerged that Tamar's interrupted business ventures were now being relaunched independently, with fans raising hundreds of thousands to support her. The network officially confirmed that Towanda would not be returning to the family show, while Toni publicly supported Tamar, reinforcing the narrative that integrity outweighed family loyalty. As the storm raged, one thing became painfully clear: Towanda was standing alone. Evelyn's defenses crumbled, Trina distanced herself, and the public had fully aligned with Tamar and Toni. The family's legacy had been tested, exposed, and reshaped in a matter of days. The cameras captured nothing but truth, chaos, and raw emotion. And viewers were captivated by the drama that no PR spin could control. The scandal concluded not with reconciliation, with reckoning. Tamar reclaimed her voice, her business, and her future. Toni reinforced the importance of truth over appearances. Towanda was left to face public scrutiny and private consequences alone. and the audience hooked from start to finish. Witnessed a family's legacy burn down only to rise again, stronger, purer, and finally unafraid to confront betrayal head-on. The story didn't fade. It lingered on social media, in news feeds, and in the collective consciousness of fans who had watched a legacy be rebuilt from the ashes of deceit. Tamar, Toni, and even Trina emerged as symbols of resilience, while Towanda's silence became the loudest statement of all. Betrayal carries consequences. The Braxton family reboot premiered without Towanda. Ratings soared, and the narrative of truth over false loyalty dominated headlines. The final image was haunting. Tamar staring in a mirror. No glam, no filters, only the reflection of a woman who refused to be broken. She whispered, "I didn't lose a sister. I lost a saboteur." And with that, the screen went black, leaving viewers breathless, reflecting on what it truly means to stand for yourself when even family turns against you. The Braxton legacy had been tested, exposed, and reforged. And one question remained burning in every fan's mind. Could trust ever be rebuilt once it was shattered so completely? Don't scroll past this, because you've just witnessed a legacy unravel in real time. And the truth is hotter than any scripted drama. If you're still on the fence about the Braxton family scandal, this is your wake-up call. The receipts, the voicemails, the betrayals, it's all here. Raw, unfiltered, and unforgettable. Hit that like button right now if you're team truth over fake loyalty. Smash subscribe so you never miss another explosive insider story that networks won't dare air. Drop a comment below. Tell us what you would do if your own family betrayed you like Tamar was betrayed. Should Towanda get a second chance, or is forgiveness impossible after this level of deception? Share this video with your friends because everyone needs to see how quickly trust can crumble and how powerful standing in your truth can be. Tap the notification bell too, because the next bombshell in celebrity scandals is coming, and you want to be first in line. This isn't just gossip, it's a lesson in betrayal, accountability, and reclaiming your power. Don't miss the conversation that everyone will be talking about tomorrow. Click, comment, subscribe, and join the millions watching the Braxton family drama unfold, because the truth always finds its voice, even when family tries to silence it. Even when family tries to silence it.